Shakespeare once said.
It was Shakespeare, right?
Shakespeare.
Because I thought it was divine. I thought it was in the word. Shakespeare once said, know thyself, and to thine own self be true. That right there should have been in the word. It's all good though, because that same divine mind that inspired the word is that same divine mind that inspired Shakespeare to write some divine literature like that. That's vital.
Testing the effects. Alright, let's see. Hold on.
Alright, let's see what that is.
Okay, I think we're good.
Y'all ready?
Yeah, we're good.
Let's go.
Yeah, what up, people? That's Vital Podcast, episode 15. I like that. Yo, shout out to those who support and who believe. Those who supported and believed up until this point, and the people that continue to believe in me. Yeah, you hear the new mic. I got some new equipment. I got buttons. I got auto-tune. I got all kind of stuff, yo. I'm still learning how to work this thing. Check this out. I got a little... That's the Hitman joint right there. Alright, that's enough. Anyhow, yo, you see it. I got buttons. Yeah, this new setup is incredible, yo. Like, I'm really stoked about this.
Check it out.
Mind calming.
Stealing that small voice within.
It's the auto-tuner right there. Oh, yeah.
I can even do like a gender switch on this thing, yo. This is crazy.
I want to make sure my gain is up high enough, because last thing I want is to have a podcast where you're struggling to hear whoever it is speaking. You're in your car and you got the speakers maxed out. All of a sudden a phone call comes through. Yeah, I'm not trying to be that guy. If you're new to this podcast, or this is your first time listening, the way that my podcast is set up, it's kind of like a roller coaster. And it's a different one each time. It might be a launch. I might come right in full force. I might take it up gradually, start off at the bottom. I'm not really a big fan of like stat quo structure. What I mean is like, I'm not trying to have no classroom session. Like I want this to be enjoyable, like a morning radio show or something vibing, you know, where you're in your car driving, we're vibing. You're at the house cleaning, we're vibing. You're in the gym working out, we're vibing. You're on a run, we're vibing. You know, you're freaking low key at church with your headphones in because the sermon is boring and you're trying to keep from falling asleep. We're vibing. Who really gives a? Just pop one in. No one needs to know what you got going on in your personal seat and in your personal life, in your personal corner, wherever you're sitting, whatever you're doing, it's considered your personal space. It's your ship. Fear will have your ship frozen right in place. Fear is a weight that anchors your ship down. Every one of us succumb to fear at some point or another. It takes the same effect on us. It doesn't look the same, but it takes the same effect like you see in the scary movies and the slasher films like Scream. Ghostface shows up and the victim is just frozen in fear. And you're like, go, run. Like, what the frick are you doing right now, yo? It's like they stuck in stupid. They frozen and their stupidity has you shouting at the screen. You be sitting there like, man, if that was me, I'd have been out of there so quick. I'd have hit him over the head with the crock pot. Oh, these damn movies be pissing me off so bad.
What does it mean to be frozen in fear?
Killing all your progress. Mental paralysis. Fear will have you stuck in your analytical state of mind where now you're just overthinking everything. You're overanalyzing. Now you don't know what decision to make. It's almost like you done told yourself, yo, for fear's sake, let's apply personal protection. Let's stand here and not move in any direction. Fear, like most things in life, becomes a cycle. Recognize patterns. You know how to recognize patterns. The mind is infinite. There's always new ideas to be found. There's always new thoughts to be uncovered and discovered, compelling you to move in new ways to new places, meeting new people and having new experiences, different experiences. And then one day just having a casual experience at the right place and at the right time. You talk to the right person about the right thing and it creates the right experience, and then boom, the entire trajectory of your life is changed forever as a result. Boom, overnight success, whatever that looks like to you. Not saying that you got to become this person that everyone knows and that, oh my God! I just say that to say that's one of the many things fear prevents a person from achieving, getting to your personal best. Achieving your personal best, that's real success. You may just be getting to that next level. Whatever that next level you've been wanting to get to, you're like, yo, I just want to get there. Like, I want to make it there, whatever that is. Imagine, if you will, for a second, a pyramid. Each and every one of us coming into this life starts our life on that first degree, the bottom of the pyramid, miseducated, not intentionally and not entirely, but to a degree. For many, because that education is all that's been known, it's the only thing that seems real. That's why fear is nothing more than simply false education appearing real. It's like looking at people. You see them for what they could be, they'll start becoming what they should be. You see fear for what it could be, and that thing will shrink down to what it should be. Simply false education appearing real. This might come as a shocker to some, but false education and indoctrination, they go hand in hand to a degree. Like that image of the fishbowl. This fish inside of this fishbowl sank in the bottom of the ocean represents imprisonment, represents false education, represents indoctrination, represents miseducation. You were never shown for some how to, or that it was even possible to get outside of this thing and still be safe in the ocean, representing the endless possibilities of life. You know something about fish? Fish only grow to the capacity of the tank you put them in. So if you align with this little baby fish in this little glass fishbowl sank in the bottom of the ocean, and that's all you know, tradition, culture, cultivation, religion, ritual, routine, all these ideas that can keep a person encapsulated in cycles. If you were the first person walking this earth, you would be the creator of standards. Ideally, anyone coming in after you would now be under you. They don't have the understanding that you have. So you become a guide for that person. Your example is the only example to follow, the only standard to follow. Fast forward, you get a couple other people walking this earth, a couple other leaders like yourself. Then you get a large group of common folk who don't really care much about the leadership. They'd rather be led. So each of them choose for themselves which of these leaders they'd like to be led by. Each of these leaders have cultivated their own belief systems based off what they individually believe to be true. These common individuals fall under these belief systems, these cultures, these religions, these traditions, all these different belief systems. Forget about systematic racism. Nobody's complaining about the systems of beliefs that people are indoctrinated into, that people are born into, and not by choice, if I might add, that say anything outside of this belief is not true. Anything outside of this belief should not be taught, should not be learned, because it's not the truth. This belief is the only true belief. This is the be-all, end-all. We were just fortunate enough to stumble upon it. Whether people outside of this choose to see it or not, this is it. Meanwhile, if you stay inside, you got a greater chance of staying alive. Not always what was taught, but was damn sure communicated by some and for some. Kind of like that movie, Everything, Everything. And I don't say that to say that our parents lied to us. That's not what I'm saying at all. Please don't get that misconception. No one is to blame. No one is at fault, because we're all subject to the same conditioning. We're all conditioned by those who came before us. They set the tone. Anyone who comes after them follows their method, follows their standard, follows their tradition, follows the bar that was set by the original individual or individuals, because nowadays we play follow the followers because they are the example. You know, before we had lawnmowers, we had people picking grass, grabbing that joint, yanking it up out the ground. Somebody got sick of that one day, said, you know what? I'm gonna whack this joint. This is just my theory. And I'm entitled to a theory. It helps me to understand, and it may help some of you to understand. Somebody said, I'm gonna whack this joint. Took a stick and just started whacking the grass. Just hitting it hard as they could till it started to break. Fast forward, somebody might have said, you know what? I'm gonna take a blade and start chopping it with a blade, cutting that grass with a blade. Fast forward, somebody might have been like, yo, I'm gonna put this blade on a stick. This way I don't have to bend over. I could just swing this stick with this blade attached to the end of it and cut this grass that way. Fast forward, somebody else said, yo, you know, that wasn't a bad idea, but I'm gonna take that blade now. I'm gonna attach a second blade. I'm gonna put it on a wheel along with that stick. Matter of fact, 2 sticks. Yeah, I got new tricks. So now you can push this wheel with these sticks, with these rods and this handle, and cut the grass that way, make it a lot easier. Fast forward, somebody said, you know what? I'm gonna attach a motor to them sticks, them blades, and that wheel. So you see how evolution happens. Like, it's nothing wrong with cycling to a degree. But if you feel you must cycle, cycle to evolve. Don't just cycle to be. Don't just cycle to remain the same for the rest of your life, all the while trying to convince everyone, including yourself, that you're happy. Let the truth be known, a lot of your life is centered around fear, doubt, and anxiety. Low-key, you feel trapped and lonely, and that's got you to a degree living in misery. The information is raw material. You want to take that raw material and run it through your personal filter, your personal mental filter, because everyone's filter is different, and your mental thought train can only run on a track that is suitable for you. What am I saying? What I'm saying is it's necessary to take inventory of the ideologies that's been poured into you all your life, or better said, throughout your life. Not to say that it was all wrong, not to say any of it was wrong, but it's necessary to take inventory. Many things in life are caught, not taught. It's subconscious. You just pick it up. It's involuntary. Unbeknownst to ourselves, we're all guilty of that one. And not guilty from the standpoint of rendered judgment, but guilty from the standpoint of no one's exempt from that. No need in beating yourself up. It's important to take inventory. It's necessary to know thyself. But it's even more necessary to be true to thyself. If you gloss over anything, don't gloss over that point right there. Having and honing in on this renewed awareness, studying you, learning you, understanding you on a deeper level. That's what it means to know you. Not just simply, oh, I know what I like, I know what I don't like. No, actually knowing you and trusting you because you're honest with yourself. That's the pivotal point that could pass a person by right there if they're not aware. Because being honest with self can be one of those easier said than done things. Being honest with self sometimes can come at the behest of pissing off everyone else, especially when your movements now start to align with that honesty of self. But that's when your purest character is fortified. When you just straight honest with yourself, regardless of how anyone else feels, regardless of how anyone else thinks, and regardless of how anyone else sees you or may see you. Those who mind don't matter, and those that matter won't mind. Honesty with yourself is surety within yourself, and people tend to follow those who are sure of themselves. Fear will lead to distraction, derailment from your intended course of action. Fear will lead to procrastination, where now that train that's carrying you to where you desire to be in life has jumped track. It's now become distracted, and now it's got you heading in a direction that not only do you not intend to go, but you may not like being there when you get there. Remember, fear is a weight that anchors your ship. Information is raw material, and you want to take this material and evolve this material. Excuse me, is that the right word? Yes, and evolve this material. You don't want to just take that material and do the same old thing, repeat the same old methods and the same old traditions and hold the same old standards for years and years to come, but expect something new to happen, like insanity. You know, they used to say insanity is doing the same thing over and over again with the expectation of a different result. And that's why you got so many people walking around in this world claiming that they're happy. They're not convincing anyone. They're not convincing themselves. People know you're not happy. When you're walking around with your face looking stush, stank, and chagrin all the time, you're not really happy. When it's hard for you to crack a smile and all you can do is talk smack behind someone's back, it's because you're not happy. You could change that at any point in time. You don't have to be locked into the fear. Something that you need to understand about fear is fear can't be approached half-heartedly if you plan to contend with it. You got to approach that joint head on. You got to give it everything you got. You got to be on the offensive every single day. Stay ready so you never have to get ready. No casual-ish, because this thing's going to punch you in the face. You ever been punched in the face? You be talking cash shit before you get punched in the face. As soon as that first punch connects, reality kicks in quick. Oh, this is real. You feel how real life is or your situation is in that moment, especially when it's more than one blow at a time. And fear is polished when it comes to the skill of weighing someone down. That's why you got to put in some type of drill every single day to get stronger than this thing. You got to take militant action. You got to yourself become a tactician. It's going to be grueling and it's going to be gritty. It's going to feel like a warrior camp. That's the point. That's how you overcome. You don't overcome by avoiding. You overcome by getting stronger, by becoming a warrior, by leaning into and doing the things that you're afraid to do, by silencing the voices in your mind, the voices of doubt, the voices of negativity that speak to you so negatively where no one else is present. Those inner voices that tell you or compel you to go against your own intentions, go against your own intuitive feelings. Feelings that no one else outside of you understands, that no one else outside of you is holding on to, but yet they form their own opinions, assuming they have expert understanding on yours. They're quick to bash, trash, and belittle you regarding all the wrong that they believe in their minds you do, giving you freely their words and their opinions to make you feel like doo-doo. And instead of offering up a genuine word of wisdom, they love to give you pessimism and limiting beliefs. Voodoo. Truth be told, these people don't give a damn and two fricks about you. It's like segue, the law of silence. Speak only when necessary. Say only what's necessary. Words are energy. You tell somebody your plan, whatever your plan might be. Yo, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Whatever your plan might be, you tell somebody. You tell one person, that's one mind, one potential mind of doubt you've possibly got to contend with. You tell it to 10. Now you got 10 minds you possibly got to contend with. 10 different thought processes. Some could be in your favor, but some could be looking at you like, yo, you said you was gonna do this. Man, this dude said he was gonna do this. Man, it's like 8 weeks later. This dude ain't done nothing yet. Yo, I told you he wasn't gonna do nothing. I told you, yo. I know him. I know her. And then because those minds start fighting against you, now you start making decisions out of desperation. Oh, shoot. If I don't do this, then I won't live up to what I said. Then I'll look like this. You start adding this stuff adds stress. This stuff adds anxiety. Fear of not living up to other people's expectations that you technically created. You get a text message or email.
I gotta respond immediately.
No, take time to pause and really think about what it is you want to say, so that you don't wind up saying more than intended. No one's life is more important than yours. You're entitled to a pause. Take a moment to think, because if you ain't good, you can't do nothing for nobody else. Take a moment and just absorb what I just said. I want to be sure that didn't go over your head. Your life's purpose is not to please everyone else. Another thing that happens when you try and live up to other people's expectations and make quick decisions based off how someone else might feel, whatever it is you're trying to produce, whatever the intended result that you're trying to produce is, now you're not giving as much patience over to it, which means you're not putting as much detail on it that you could be putting on it, which now leads to mediocre results. Greatness can't be rushed. Segue, the power of the positive no. You don't have to fulfill every obligation that comes your way each day. You'll mess around and burn yourself out. Last episode I talked about that, burnout. Back to the book. It's a great book. For audible learners like myself, people that's always on the go, you don't have time to sit down and crack open a book necessarily, they got an audio version. If you want to get the audio book, I recommend Android users. I'm an Android user. Google Play, download Google Rewards. It's a survey app. It asks you like 4 questions. 4 little simple questions, and it's multiple choice. You answer those questions, you get money credited to your Google Play account. And with that money, you can use that to purchase apps. You can use it to purchase anything in the Google Play Store. Great way to get audiobooks without having to spend out of pocket. Quick little recap to wrap up this sesh. Remember, for everyone, life begins sort of similarly in that it's like a pyramid. Everybody starts at the bottom, to each their own degree. You know, one person's bottom may not be what somebody else's might be. It's this negative conditioning. Your job is to get to the top, to get to enlightenment, to positive conditioning, to renewed thinking that's going to help you to progress to your next level of success. Different understanding, new understanding, seeing things differently, because that same cyclical pattern, conditioning, routine, tradition, you see how it all correlates? It's time to break the cycle. That's the only way you evolve, is to break the cycle, break the cyclical cycle. Cycles.
Yo, this was great. Yeah, I really enjoyed today's session. And in case no one else will tell you, I see the progression.
Yo, that's my time for today.